Hey, we're back. Scott and I are going to find out how's the hike on the Rockwall Trail.
All right.
Well, our first bridge, and my goodness, we could rock hop this like this.
I think if the bridge were missing, we wouldn't have a problem.
No, exactly. So we're here in mid-October. What's the date today? October 14th?
Yeah.
October 14th doing Rockwall, which typically doesn't open until the middle of July because of the snow. But here we are in Kootenay National Park, and the water levels are, well, I'll show you here in a sec, incredibly low. And the weather is outstanding. Look at that. You can see over here where the line would come up when it's flowing. But my goodness, we are blessed this year hiking in the middle of October in the Rocky Mountains. Look at that. Woo! It's telling me this color is ochre. Learning something new every day, but yeah. We just met some folks doing a little day hiking here, and they're all covered in this color. The lady had brand new white shoes, right?
Brand new.
Brand new. We're not too far from paint pots, and I'll show you those when we get there. Paint pots to Floe Lake. Rockwall Trail. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, what the hell is that cinematic? I don't want that. There we go. A little avalanche slope here we're looking at. Pretty colors, eh, Scott?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Still got some yellows and golds here.
Yeah, we do. It's 14th of October. It's hard to believe we're doing this, but look at that view. Blue skies. Weather's going to be amazing the whole hike. And like I said, still some colors.
Yeah, it's a different experience to the golds and the kind of, amber colors with the grasses and things.
Oh, it sure is. It's stunning. Oh,
Pretty in a different way.
very pretty. River down there. Not much water moving though, is there?
Would that be Helmet Creek?
It might be.
I don't know my geography.
Ooh, let's look at that. We'll get back to you. All right, we're at a bit of an intersection here. Let's have a look. So, all right. Why do we have another one over here?
Was that a campsite already?
Well, we're 2.6 from where we're going.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can also go to the Tumbling Creek.
Yeah, you could from here.
But it's just the junction to it.
Exactly.
Oh, it's not the actual campsite.
No, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
no. Junction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
Which is just up there, but then you have to go another
that's the campsite there.
six and change. Yeah.
That's right.
Which you could do.
Oh,
You could definitely do.
Yeah.
But
I think people want to go this way to see the falls.
exactly. So, yeah, we're 2.6 from our first milestone today. Campsite.
That's it?
That's it. Yep.
What are we going to do all day?
I don't know. Did you bring any cards?
Maybe our phones have some game.
Yeah, we'll have to play a game. Well, we shuttle cars, right? So you didn't know, but... That said, I'll turn this around here. The daylight, we've got, what, maybe 12 hours of daylight now. Probably less. Yeah. So, getting in early is not a big deal because we're going to be in the dark for a long time. That said, pretty lucky we're out here in the middle of October. I'll probably say that a few times. 2.5-ish now to the campsite, and I'll show you around. Well, Scott and I were just talking about the fact that we have to be following water. We can't really be in a dry valley. And sure enough, we just ascended, and, well, we're thinking this is Helmet Creek. I'll flash it up if I'm right or wrong. We're not far from the campsite. It's a short day for us, but we've been shuttling cars and getting organized. And
See where the wasps are?
what's that? Is this where the wasps? No, it says the suspension bridge is where the wasps are.
Okay, through suspension bridge.
I think the next section of trail, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's find out.
Yeah, run!
I've already been stung this hiking season, thank you. Look at this feat of engineering. Beautiful.
are we having a break here anyway?
You know what? We could certainly rock hop quite easily right now. There's no water flow. There he goes. Show us how it's done. And there he's off. Yeah, there you go. Well, I'm gonna go up here. Oh baby, October 14th. How many times are you gonna hear me say that in this video?
It's easier walking those stairs.
I need the exercise.
Are we here?
Are we here?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're here.
Yes, we are.
Helmet Junction.
Who gets the creekside view?
Well, I don't care, but you know what? We're gonna, well, we're here. Oh geez, that was a short day.
I guess we have
You know what? I will say this: if we had started at like 10 o'clock this morning, we're going to Helmet Falls, right? Really,
Yeah.
we are. But all right, we're gonna look around and I'll show you around Helmet Junction. Lovely. So I was about to do a tour of camp, and then Scott drug out this device. What have we got here, man?
I don't have to blow it up by my own lung power.
Would you call that a luxury item? I would think so.
I would call it a luxury.
That's a luxury item. Yeah. Yeah. What'd that cost you?
I don't want to say. Is Nelson going to see this?
Nelson may see this. Never mind.
I think it was $50.
Nelson, you didn't hear that. All right. Little shot around camp. We've set up here. I gotta go look at your tent. Great little spot. I think it's the junction of Helmet Creek and Ochre Creek. That's what I'm thinking right now, according to the maps I'm looking at. Scott's here. I'm there. Another tent pad back there. I'll go over here and show you around real quick. Like a short day for us, like I said, but it's one of those days where you're trying to get on the trail, right? So you're not really sure what you're going to get into. So this was great for us. We'll have a nice relaxing day. I'm still on Atlantic time. There's the outhouse. Typical kind of Banff type outhouse, really, if you think about it. Glad there's no stadium seating where you can sit with your friends and chat about last night's supper as you get rid of it. Oh, did I say that out loud? I think I did. Eating area. Lovely spot, actually. And then back this way is the food storage. And I'm not going to take you back there because they are the new lockers. No big deal to see those. That is Helmet Ochre Junction campsite. Well, Scott is the fire master tonight, and we are in business. A lot of this just deadfall around, and you know, I didn't expect you. I didn't think there'd be much wood here. Did you?
Well,
Such a busy campsite?
I didn't think they'd even allow fires here.
No, this is great. And it's getting cold.
If they don't allow fires, don't publish this.
Oh, I'll get in trouble again. No.
I don't want to see another apology video on your channel.
What's he mean? Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a deal I made with a warden. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Well, we've had supper, a little early supper. Of course, I'm still on Atlantic time with a 3-hour time zone, but we've had our supper, and now we're just going to have a little fire. And obviously, we've only got 10 hours and 40 odd minutes of sun or daylight this time of year, but just look at that. 6.2 kilometers to get here. 8.8 tomorrow to get to Helmet Falls, which is our destination. Now that said, if we get moving and it's, you know, we're making good time, who knows? Maybe we'll go up over the pass and on to Tumbling Creek. We'll see. Is it Tumbling Creek?
Somewhere.
Yeah, no, I mean after the pass, the next after Helmet Falls, are we going to Tumbling Creek?
Is it Numa or Tumbling? I can't remember.
We don't know.
Forgot.
I'll flash it up right now.
Is this going to burn my towel to bits? I think it might.
Uh-oh. That's a pretty good idea, though. Anyway, we're going to enjoy the fire and turn in and enjoy the dark. We'll see you in the morning. See that guy up there? That was something else. Man alive, was that something else. It was, well, it was a frosty night. Really frosty night. I'll show you my boots. Frostiness. Oh yes, frostiness. Even the tent. And again, before we talk about single wall tents versus double wall, Scott's is a double and he's got frost all over his as well. But she was a cold night, although I was toasty warm in my sleeping bag. Yeah? Ah, that nice? Anyway, really awesome place to wake up. Gonna have some coffee. Hopefully the sun will start coming up over here real soon. And we can warm this stuff up and dry it off and all that wonderful stuff. So anyway, time for coffee. Well, we've had a nice breakfast and we are, we're on a frost delay. You can hardly see it now, it's starting to melt, but both the inside and the outside of the tent are covered in thick frost. Even my backpack is wet. But look at this, Scott's over here shaking his off. Yeah. This is his first round of shaking there. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like it snowed. Literally looks like it snowed. Yeah. It's a time of year, right? So you have to be flexible. We'd love to be out of here on the trail already, but what if we get to the next campsite and there's no sun? What if it's covered? Right? Hard to say. So, well, it's not a particularly long day, so we'll just give this a little more time and head up the trail. All right, we're underway. A little bit of a late start, but that's what happens when you're dealing with frost and waiting for the sun to come up this time of year with the short days. Our destination is only Helmet Falls, so that's why we lingered in the sun, try to dry some stuff off. Now listen, from a trip planning perspective, if you're going to do this trail, you're probably going to skip this campsite on the way up and go right up to the falls to stage for Rockwall Pass. We didn't do that yesterday with the shuttling of the cars. Scott coming down from Edmonton, so we had a very leisurely day, and this sets us up. So, wow. Helmet Falls, next stop on the list. Didn't show you, but there have been lots of climbing. About 700 or 800 meters of uphill since we left camp. Smoothing out a bit now, but woo! Got me huffing and puffing. Well, it wouldn't be a hike without a grouse, would it? Let's see if we can get these fellas to move along. Oh, that's a fat one, isn't it?
Can you net one of those for dinner?
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? We're gonna pluck you for supper, son. My lady, I should say. Two of you here. Where's the male? You guys a little harem? Oh, there's one. One down. Two down. There we go. We've got our grouse sighting for the hike. Great. Well, that's the first view we've had. And the first sun we've had on us for, well, feels like forever. Nice view. We've come obviously from way down there. And we're going this way and around to the left. So, yeah, nice to feel the sun, isn't it?
First we felt was leaving camp.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Anyway, as I say, always look behind you. You never know what you're going to see. We just stopped to look at this interesting geography, and then we noticed this little spot here. Hey, if you random camp, you find a little tuck right in here.
I'd be happy here.
Yeah, nice soft place.
Yeah, I like the
water. Well, somebody's going down there, game or otherwise.
These soft floors are nice to camp on.
They are.
They're
nice.
Not dirty and they're soft.
Exactly, and good hold for your tent pegs. All right, we're going. Where are we going? That way. Up, up, up.
I wish we had a cook bed like this all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking a minute ago. A lot of sections that we're walking this morning, there's no sun. And that means that the trail is frozen. And it literally is. You can look down and see the frozen trail. I brought some little, they're not spikes, they're like little nubs that you put on your boots. If I think of it later, I'll show you on the video, but just for something like this. But that said, we're not having any traction issues, even though it's frozen. So, whew. We're more than halfway to Helmet Falls. Yeah, this is neat, eh? Cool. Turned over sideways.
Incredible how something that was flat on the ocean bottom at one time is nearly vertical.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Very cool. We just stopped here because we've got something to look at after the forest walking. Look at that. Beautiful. Well, you go first.
Thanks, Stuart.
Go first and let me know where the wasps
I'm not
are.
gonna dawdle.
No, actually, I will let you go, and then I'll wait, and then I'll come after. Just so we don't have two of us stirring them up.
It's not that easy here.
There you go.
Got the boards out on it too.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll show you that when I get up there. I'm gonna let him go get across. So it's
not. Wake him up, Stuart.
You wake him up, and I'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I've already been stung this summer. Well, we made it, and we had a beautiful little break in the sun. And we were looking at the sun, and you're not gonna be able to see this. It's gonna blind the camera, but solar noon is in about 10-12 minutes. And then we're probably gonna lose that sun down behind those mountains. So gonna be a chilly afternoon, I would think. But our views are definitely improving. We can see a little more rock flower, a little more glacial coloration in the water up here as we get closer. And yeah, should be real pretty. Real pretty next few days. So anyway, yeah, onward to Helmet Falls campsite. Going that way. Come out in this beautiful opening and we can see Helmet Falls. I'm going to zoom in for you right now. There you go. We're heading in that direction. Couple K to camp, I'd say. And some views. Whew. We've just come to an intersection that's interesting to me and Scott because we had talked about potentially doing Good Sir Pass. So I'll talk about that on the video with regard to trip planning. But yeah, anyway, a little crooked there. Oh, hi there. Oh, here we are. What do we got here? Okay, we are very close to our campsite.
We are.
All right, 12-3 to Tumbling Creek. Okay, good. Well, I think it's going to be dark at camp. What do you think?
I see no sunshine.
No, the sun's behind the mountains there. And this could be a chilly afternoon. Not too far from camp, Warden's cabin. Let's have a look. The campsite's across the river. Helmet Creek Patrol Cabin. Let's have a look. Wow, she's tiny. Outhouse over there. Somewhere for the horses if you ever brought any. And look at this frost line right here. Look at this.
Oh my God, it's full of frost.
Yeah, look at. And on the bridge, you can see where the sun has never shone today. And that's going to be our campsite. Going to be cold.
That's exactly what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Line from the mountain.
Wow. Cold and dark. All right, we're going to cross here and go to camp. I'll show you around. Well, there's Helmet Falls. And we can hear them and see them from camp. We had a glorious afternoon of sun. Let's pan down here, but the sun just followed this ridge nice and high all day. We charged some things and got warm. It was great. Then we did a count of all the bear lockers. There are 18, which typically means there are 18 tent pads. And I think that's probably true because this is one of the largest campsites ever. Like, it's huge. And we've spread out. I'll give you a quick shot down the camp. Obviously, this is your bear box and eating area, even over here as I walk this way. By the way, there's the trail that we'll be taking tomorrow. This way. Big old climb in the morning. I'll talk about that a little later. So yeah, Helmet Falls. By the way, I said this morning, I'll say it again, from a trip planning perspective, you're going to want to come here on night one, unless you get a late start like we did. And that's it. And even though we had a late start, we still could have kept moving. The problem this time of year is simply the amount of light that's available during the day. I think we're somewhere around 10.5 hours of sun, let's say. And that's not much. So, some random areas here you could tuck in if you were, say, doing the GDT. And you got in here a day early or late. Lots of room here. All right, I'm going to speed this up. All right, a couple of tent pads here. One outhouse is here. The other outhouse is just down here to the left. And with that many campers, you would want a couple of outhouses, that's for sure. And I'm not going to take you all the way down there where we came in over the bridge. I showed you that as we walked in. Just think there are basically tent pads all the way coming from the bridge and even over here as well. So if you are traveling with a group and you have a few tent pads reserved, you can certainly probably find a place to hang out. But here they are all tucked in here as well. So we look for a place where the sun might hit in the morning, and we're going to set up here now shortly. There's our view tonight. The sun is gone, but that is not. And wowie, wowie, wow. The next few days are going to be pretty spectacular and stunning with bluebird weather. So, all right, I'm heading back to the eating area and going to contemplate supper. Have a look at that. Well, that's a wrap on day 2. Another short one for us. Gaia said 8-1. The book, Brian Patton and Bart's book, Canadian Rockies Trail Guide, says 8-9. And what did you measure on Garmin? Exactly 8-9?
Oh, to this camp?
Yeah.
8.90.
Yeah, so we're going to say 8-9, and I'm going to say that maybe Gaia didn't get its, didn't get its signal or something. I don't know how this all works. But as I was talking to Brian Patton about pushing the wheel like he did and Bart did, very, very accurate. So speaking of that, so tomorrow the book says about 11.5 kilometers from here, 2 steep ascents in the morning. First thing tomorrow morning, we're going to have to go up, and it's going to be hard to see here, but you can see this cut up here, right? This is shoulder. We're going to go up through that and then that way. Is it Limestone Pass? Limestone something? Limestone something.
That sounds right, but I think the mountain had a different name.
And then after that, we go down into the valley again, and then another steep climb up Rockwall. And then it's pretty good once you're up on Rockwall going through the pass, and then we'll descend back down into our campsite for tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night, Tumbling Creek.
That's it.
Tumbling Creek. Let's hope we don't tumble.
That giant rock is Limestone Peak.
Limestone Peak. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Good. Well, we're going to sit here and try to stay warm. The sun went down behind the falls up there. I hope you can see them. And boy, when it went down, it got cold here pretty quick. Garmin says +2 overnight. It was about -2 or so this morning down at the Junction campsite. So really good day 2, and now we're set up for why we're here. Rockwall Pass tomorrow. See you then. Good morning, day 3, and a chilly one again. Although no frost, we've decided it's just the condensation on the inside of our tents that's got it all iced up, but it's chilly. We are fully bundled up, and it's only, what, -2?
Something like that.
Yeah, it feels a lot colder than that. But another stunning morning. You can see I'll come up a little bit. Up, 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 up. Where'd the moon go? There it is. There's the moon. And then back down over Helmet Falls, which we were just discussing and relating to Simon Creek. Glacial fed, way less water flow this morning than there was yesterday afternoon. So we are eagerly awaiting that sun to come down and change our day completely. Because, I mean, look, Scott's ready to go skiing. He's got puffy pants on.
Yeah.
Speaking of puffy pants, I decided to leave mine in the car. I have a rental car here. I have puffy pants. I left them in the car. I really wish I hadn't left them in the car. So, anyway, there it is, our view for breakfast. Well, a little trail humor from me. It's about what? Oh, sorry, a little shaky. Trying to get my glove on. That's about what my hair looks like underneath this hat right now. So, anyway, sorry for the jiggly video. Here we go. We're underway. A lot earlier than yesterday because we decided not even to think about drying anything off. We'll do that up on the passes when we hit the sun. And that's the thing. The sun is nowhere to be seen yet just because we are in, the wrong position behind some mountains. You can see it's painting down these mountains, but it's just not hitting us. So we have a couple of high points today that we'll probably stop at and dry some stuff off. Hey, this is frosty and pretty, isn't it?
Picture of the frost and the willow.
Yeah. Wow. That is pretty. Yeah, it's chilly. Scott and I are just talking about, one of those days we got a 3-kilometer climb, basically, where we're going to have to really watch our body heat and sweating. Now, Scott does a lot of winter stuff out here, overnight skiing and stuff. And you'll teach me.
Just have to shed and put on as necessary.
Yeah. All right, so we've got some big climbing to do right now. Brian Patton says grueling in the book.
Excruciating.
I think excruciating. Well, let's see. One last shot of this amazing head wall here with Helmet Falls, and you can see Scott up there. We're heading into the woods and then up. Oh, lovely spot, eh? There we go. Yeah. Okay. We'll head out of the frozen tundra here and into the woods. Yeah, up we go. Not as grueling as we feared just yet, but I think it's a 3K climb all total. So, trail's good though. A couple sections if you're hiking when it's below freezing. A couple sections where water ran down the trail, and this morning looks like a frozen brook. So be careful, always, of course. A whole family of spruce grouse. What are they doing? Hello, good morning, everybody. Another one up there?
Yeah,
oh.
trail.
Oh, yeah. Oh, another one on the trail picking. Well, thanks for the nice break there, sweetie.
You're just not terribly disturbed by us.
No, I don't seem to care. One last shot of our valley. We're making good progress, but still a ways to go. Maybe we're halfway there if we're lucky.
I'd say maybe halfway.
Yeah.
In altitude.
Still some snow. Obviously, we're heading that way. Well, Scott and I've made it up, and wow, eh?
I think this feels pretty good. I don't
Oh,
have a
this
shirt
feels.
on now.
Yeah, Scott doesn't have his shirt on. We're gonna spare you that. Anyway, yeah.
Good.
I bet it feels good. Feels good to get to the top of that friggin' hill, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was tough. Grueling indeed. Now we gotta climb that hill too. But I think a lot of it we're gonna have views, and that always makes a difference. I mean, look, just sitting here now. Look at that view.
This is really our first view of the actual rock wall.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That must be a big glacier on the top of that.
Huge, yeah.
Several of them.
Yeah. What a day. Oh, we're gonna sit here and take a nice, well-deserved break.
I don't see it. Well, there's tiny clouds to these, but almost nothing.
Almost a total bluebird. Woof. Well, we've just come down over the hill here, seeing some lakes, glacial fed, obviously. And I'm just gonna let Scott go by just for a second, or just hang on. Like, it's straight up here, but imagine what? A few weeks ago, Scott, the larches would have been
golden meadow.
Yeah. You can see the remnants of them here, and we've been walking on some, what did you call it earlier? The golden
straw.
Golden straw. Anyway, this is why you hike the rock wall. Get up here and start looking at this, and the sun feels glorious. Gorgeous walk through here, especially after a morning where, you know, it was an immediate climb. Picky, relentless climb. 3.5 kilometers basically, more or less. So this is just lovely. I know we have to climb again, of course, straight ahead. But just a stunning spot. And you can imagine here all the wildflowers that would be in bloom in, say, late July, early August, depending on the year, would just be, these meadows would just be stunning. And well, it's known for that as well, similar to North Molar Pass. Anyway, we're just making our way down to the bottom. Gonna refill some water, and then one more big old climb. Then we'll kind of level out for a bit, and the scenery's going to be amazing, which I'm going to show you. And then down into Tumbling Creek for the night. And hopefully tonight, if everything works out, I'll do a little trip planning with you. If we have time when we get to camp and all that sort of stuff. With the late levels of, or I shouldn't say the late levels, with the late sunrise and the early sunset, not a lot of time to do stuff in camp except get organized, get set up. So just time of year. Oh boy, no wonder I'm grunting and puffing. Look at down there, that's where we came from. Oof. And she's steep. Back in through the woods. Trail's really good though, so that's not an issue. It's just that first climb this morning was grueling and brutal. But a lot of switchbacks. This one, not so much. Oh, baby. And I'm fighting something too. I'll talk about that later maybe. So I don't have the wind that I normally have on these uphills. Lots of breaks. That's all you can do. Oh, that's weird. I mean, according to my estimation, we're not at the pass yet. At all. So, I wonder what that is. Oh, baby. Well, let's go see what else we can see. The sun's a bit glaring. Hard to see if you can see where the track is, but it's down there to the right. If I can zoom in, I will when I edit this. If not, take my word for it. We're going down that way and around and up that way. I'm pretty sure it's on this side. It's Wolverine Pass and Wolverine Trail. Should be an intersection up here near the pass. And I think that's the gap there. Could be on the other side of that, but I think that's the gap. Whew. As you've seen with our campsites, everything depends on the sun. Now there's snow, and it's the middle of October. And it's still there from the winter. I'm going to have to say it's from the winter. And no sunlight really hitting it. So I mean, we've thought a lot about that, haven't we? Being out here so late in the season. But there's a good example of what happens when the sun is not in your favor. Well, there's another one. That one says hiker something. I'll zoom in on it. Maybe you can read it. Weird. Another weird marker. It's got a logo on it though.
That's right.
Yeah. Very odd.
Hiker Howard?
Hiker something. Maybe just people put their stickers on them or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But why do we have 3 of them in a row?
Maybe he has a YouTube channel.
Follow us.
Do you have any stickers?
I have no stickers.
You're putting your stickers in all the campsites.
I should get How's a Hike stickers. There you go. And deface the property. That's a good idea. Leave a trace. There we go. Yeah, you know me too well. There we go again. The mystery deepens. Post it below.
Another one.
Yeah. Scott coming there with a great view of Rockwall.
From behind.
Yep. I went ahead because I'm so slow today. That's just gorgeous. Can't get it all in, of course. And we're heading that way, way down there and around. I'm gonna say this has to be the junction with Wolverine Pass, and if it is, even if it isn't, I'll show you when we see it. We'll climb up here. I'm going to show you this sign. Ooh, who turned out the lights? Yeah, I was right. This is the intersection with Wolverine Pass Trail, which I'll show you here once I climb up. Show you the sign. All right. There it is. So Tumbling Creek saying 3K, that's reasonably accurate. And that's that way. Half a kilometer to Wolverine Pass and the park boundary. One more look for you. A little detour, which will affect our mileage today, but we know it's between 11 and 11 and a half, as will you, just by looking at everywhere else online. But we wanted to see the cabin, have a little break here, and then head over to the campsite, which is less than 2 kilometers, I'm going to say, from here.
You can look in this one.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, you can see inside. Well, let's have a look. Well, yeah, table in there. Cool. Well, there's an old mattress. You probably can't see this on video, so. All right, we're going to take a break and head to the camp. Well, we say wardens get the best views. Well, that's a heck of a view. And just over to the right, Wolverine Pass. And we, of course, are heading down that way and then around that way to the campsite. And Scott was good enough to show me what kind of climb we're going to have tomorrow morning. Oh boy. All right, back up out of the warden's cabin from a little break. And down to camp for a couple K. Steep down into Tumbling Creek. When we get there, I'll show you around. I think a couple of weeks ago these larches would have been in full color. My goodness, wouldn't that be spectacular? Although I have to say, it's spectacular right now. Every season has its beauty and things to love. Coming out of the forest, first look here. Let me turn around. Let me turn the switch back before I show you down the valley. But okay, Tumbling Creek. I'm gonna lose that sun very, very soon, unfortunately for us. And we still have a ways to drop. Holy moly moly. And back out and up the other side tomorrow. Well, let's not think about that now. Let's do more of these switchbacks and get down to camp, which I think is going to be dark. The descent that goes on forever. Lots of switchbacks. Still, just finished one. So hopefully I'm not too far, because we're bagged at this point. All right, yeehaw. Tumbling Creek. Yeah, she looks kind of dark, but maybe some sun. I'm gonna go in and check things out, and when I'm set up, I'm gonna show you around. Well, as promised, a little tour of camp. There's my spot there. Actually, come in from up there. I'm gonna take you there in a sec. Someone's built a swing out of something. Is that paracord or it looks like baling twine? I don't know. Anyway, I've picked this tent pad. Tonight was my time to choose. I always hate picking first, but hey, Scott's probably going to go right down here. We're looking for places on these cold nights that have a little bit of cover. It helps with the frost. Doesn't help with condensation, just frost. Anyway, a little confusing because I count 6 tent pads, and so does Scott, and yet there are 10 bear boxes. So whether we're missing something or I don't know, I will flash up on the screen what the reservable number of tent pads are. But there are 5 down that little row there, and then there's 1 right here. So allow me to zoom forward a little bit. Listen, by the way, you can go down this way to where I'm going to take you to the eating area through there. You can also follow where I just showed you the tents down to the eating area down there. We'll walk through this tent pad. Through the trees you can see the privy, which I'm going to show you. I'll fast forward. Back out on the main trail, and that takes you to the privy, which is the typical Banff Kootenay Yoho outhouse. All right. Ta-da! And down here to the eating area. Again, this is the main trail. Bear left if you're coming through here and not stopping. Somebody's been kind enough to put a little arrow because it is not marked. It's rather confusing. Eating area. Back this way toward the tent pads a little bit. As you can see, nice big eating area. Right? Lots of privacy, and of course, I mentioned these earlier. 10 of the bear bins, but only 6 tent pads. So I'm a little confused. But I won't be once I make this video for you, because I'll just flash it up. This is where we made our mess. And just so you know, the water source is kind of down past our table here. And a bit of a walk. And it's a bit murky and silty, so already my Katahdin Be-Free is kind of choking up on me. I'll rinse that out a little bit later and try to preserve it. So, whew, that's it. What a day. I will probably save trip planning video till tomorrow, because we have our shortest day at 7.5 kilometers from Tumbling Creek to Numa. One heck of a terrible climb, however, for us again. Up that way. So we're going to sit here and enjoy our supper. Have an early night again, of course, because of the you know, the short days, and we're kind of bagged. It was a hard day for us. So anyway, yeah, gonna have some supper and we'll wrap it up. Well, that's a wrap on day 3. Day 3. It should be day 2, but it's day 3 because that's how we wanted to roll. And Scott's setting up his tent. What time is it anyway?
It's about 6:30, isn't it?
About 6:30. So yeah, how you feeling about these short days?
Couldn't take any more.
Listen, I just want to say, all you guys out there are like, oh, I just wish I could lay down. You can. Come out here in October. You can lay down from 7:30 at night until 7:30 in the morning.
Oh, man.
And nobody cares.
Getting 12 hours of sleep.
We are. Well, it didn't help today any. I mean, today was grueling. What do you think of that climb?
Well, it's just a warm-up.
Oh, yeah. So tomorrow, well, we'll get to that. But tomorrow morning, not too bad. What is it, like 2 kilometers and change to get up?
2.4 something.
2.4, and it's pretty steep. But we'll get up. Tomorrow's a short day at about, 7.5 kilometers in that range.
I thought it was like 8 or something like that.
7, 8. Well, we're going to cut 300 meters off, we talked about, but...
Yeah, that's what we're going to cut off a little bit.
Yeah, so tomorrow our shortest day. I'll do some trip planning with you tomorrow night for the video. Sorry if you're just staring at my shoulder. And yeah, the next day will be hard. Getting into Floe Lake from Numa. And hopefully by then, well, I won't be grunting so much uphill. So let's just sit here on this swing. Oh, it's paracord. Oh, well. If it can hold a parachutist, it can hold this big carcass. Anyway, that's a wrap on day 3. We're going to crawl in here and just lay on the couch, so to speak. See you in the morning. Good morning, day 4. What a place to wake up here at Tumbling Creek. Just gorgeous. Look at that. That's just stunning. We've taken our pictures and enjoyed watching that come down the mountain. Just beautiful. If you look down here, oh, she's frosty. But it wasn't frosty last night. In fact, I had no condensation in my tent for the first night on this trip. And that's probably because we're just up on a little rise above the creek, Tumbling Creek, and also because I got a little bit of airflow through my tent. Maybe it was warmer. But how'd you sleep?
Very well.
Good.
I had to take off some of my puffies because it was warm enough last night.
Oh, you guys that sleep hot. I mean, I was putting on down booties at 4 a.m. But anyway, a little breakfast. What do we got this morning?
Mary Berry Couscous from Happy Yak.
Happy Yak out of Quebec. Good brand, actually. By the way, if you're ever buying Happy Yak, unless you want to cook, look for the word express. That's the ones you can do in the bag. The other ones you can't, so.
That would be a surprise.
That would be a little bit shocking. Although, with your Jetboil, you could cook.
Oh, I could cook it, but if you didn't know you had to cook it, it might be kind of hard.
Yeah. Whoops. I wasn't ready for that. And why would I know that? Experience. Yeah. Oops. Experience. Sad experience. Anyway, we're going to have breakfast. Look at that. Pack up a bit, do our hard climb, and take our shortest day into Numa Creek, up over Tumbling Pass this morning, which will be kind of a grunt on the way up, but at least it's a short day. Hopefully we'll catch some sun at the campsite, and hopefully it'll be a great walk. But first...
Of course it'll be a great walk.
Oh, Mr. Optimistic over there, yeah. So Mr. Optimistic just piles his way up the hill while I'm going... East Coast guy, probably.
I definitely have it in low gear.
No, it's... What's the hare and the tortoise? That's the tortoise and the hare? Yeah. All right, breakfast, and then we're out of here. All right, we've just finished up here at the eating area, as you can see. And typically, if you're heading in our direction, you're going to go back up here, and then you're going to go that way. You're going to go down here, you're going to cross the bridge, cross Tumbling Creek, and then come on back up the other side. However, there's no water in Tumbling Creek, so we're going to save a few hundred meters by walking over here and rock hopping. There's even a path, so we don't have to step on any vegetation. As there's so many signs around here, don't step on the vegetation. Okay. Anyway, you come down here, and I mean, this only do this when there's no water, obviously, and obviously stay on the trail otherwise, but let me just show you. I can see the trail from here. This is a well-worn path. So not only are folks coming down here to get water, they're also coming down here to do what we're doing. Take a shortcut when the water's low. Yeah, look. So, well-worn path out here, over there, and then up there. But the trail is actually right there, as you can see, it goes all the way down that way. So, all right, we're gonna do this, and oh baby, 2 kilometers of straight uphill. Steep and relentless. No switchbacks yet. Every morning starts with a good old climb. Whew. Almost to the top, you can see Scott's up there, pretty close. I'm gonna pan around slowly, show you this. What do you think? All right, let's see what's on the other side. Back. A little quicker this time. Back over that hill. What a day. Dare I say we've crested the hill? Should have. Tumbling Pass. I would say after more than 2 kilometers straight uphill, might be time for a nice little break in the sun. What do you think? There's Scott. We'll check with him and see what he fancies. Funny, we were just about to sit for a break, and somebody else recently sat for a break.
The same place.
I think we'll pack those out. What do you think?
Yeah.
That might be those people that did 34 kilometers in one day.
Man, those maniacs.
Yeah, they started at Paint Pots and went all the way to Numa.
They don't look like they've seen any weather or anything.
No, they look pretty new to me. Well,
they might even be prescription. Let's
add that to the list of things you find.
No, they're not prescription.
No? All right. Well, we're
nice sunglasses.
going to sit here and have a break too.
What brand are they?
Woo!
Ray-Ban.
Ray-Ban. Score.
I think they're Ray-Ban. No, it looked like Ray-Ban. Safe Style. That's not Ray-Ban.
That'd be different.
I saw it from the backside and it had that cursive look of that Ray-Ban.
Little different price point.
Probably. We can take this. We'll put it on our Facebook page.
All right.
What we found. Anybody want to claim it?
Well, we enjoyed our little break with a view of Tumbling Peak. Tumbling Glacier's kind of over that way, but there's lots of, well, glacial remnants, let's call it. If you look at the, Scott and I were just talking about this, if you look at the old maps, the glaciers are a lot bigger than they used to be.
Last reconnaissance.
Got everything? Yeah, we don't want, did you leave your sunglasses on?
No, I didn't. I have 2 sunglasses.
Obviously a popular place for a break. So the big downhill begins, 600-ish meters, and Scott's really looking forward to the switchy backs. He loves them for his knees.
Going down, down.
Down, down, down.
And it's going far down, it's look down.
Even free entertainment on this hike, isn't that great? Well, there's our view. Holy moly. Look at that. I hope you can see it as well as I can. I'll try to clean it up for you. But yeah, looks like that's the trail. We've got some descending. Look at that valley depth down there. Right down there, that valley.
Oh, to the black hole.
Mackerel. Okay, I'm not sure that the video is going to do this any justice, but we have to go all the way down to that valley floor and then turn that way and go up to the campsite. That said, if you walk out this way to there, you're at the highway. It's less than 7K, I think. But look at the drop we have to do. And then back up tomorrow morning the other way. All right. Down, down we go. Making our slow and steady progress. Yeah, I see the trail. Hang on here. Way down there. Down there. Yeah. Right on the right. See that drain? See that avalanche and that drain down there? Yeah, there's the track down there. Okay. Yeah, so that's definitely, the highway's definitely on this side of that big range over there because we're hearing traffic. And we're hearing traffic because Highway 93 is now the main artery due to a road closure near Golden until, well, December, really. And they're doing some road work that requires the road to be closed. So yeah, we can hear road noise all the way up here. But it's not far, really, as a crow flies. But man alive, look at that, eh? Ooh. You can see here, Scott's throwing down a huge set of switchbacks on the left side of this drain slide area. It's pretty steep. Imagine coming up the other side. All you GDT south to north people. You'll be climbing this. Ooh, baby. Always look around. You get in these areas without any sun, and there's the frosty, snowy, slippery buildup. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. The intersection of the trailhead down Numa Creek to the road. Interestingly, it doesn't show us any information there about that. But Tumbling Pass 5K, which is it's been a steady descent the entire way, which is unbelievable. So as I look around, I'm going that way, and as I look around, this sign shows me what I meant to show you a second ago. Yeah, so Floe Lake's 10 from here, Numa Creek under half a K, 400 meters, and then Highway 93 is so close at 6.6. So if you had to bail, like if for some reason you had to bail, you could certainly bail here. 6.6, basically downhill to Highway 93, and as I said earlier, get a ride there pretty easy at this point, we hope, because we may have to do that when we're finished. Anyway, 400 meters, camp. Pretty quick 400 meters, there's the outhouse. So, we're gonna head up here to camp. High up. Bear boxes and eating area right there in the sun. Woohoo! When we're set up, I'll show you around. Numa Creek. Second to last campsite for us on this hike. All right. What's going on over here? Hey, who's blowing up your bag?
You know you want one, Stuart.
Well, I don't want one, but the minute Jenny sees this, I'm done. Tell us about this again.
Well, it's a little pump. It probably weighs maybe 2 ounces.
I'll flash it up here, whatever it weighs.
All right, I'm not sure. We'll have to
No,
check
I'm not either yet.
But it's really light.
It is light.
And it takes about 300 breaths to blow this thing up.
Well, for some of you, maybe. I'm pretty hot, full of hot air myself. Yeah, so there it is. Get in here close. Yeah. And you said it also deflates?
Yeah, you'll just reverse it.
That, my friend, is a luxury item.
You know, I would not have bought that if it weren't 2 modes.
Taking the air out as well.
That's right. I mean, makes it all worthwhile.
So you can just like go away and let it do its thing.
You might just do it on its own while you're cooking.
Look at that. So Jenny, Christmas?
Perfectly comfortable.
All right, so as promised, a little campsite tour. If you're coming from the, well, from Floe Lake, for example, that's going to be your introduction over here to the campsite. In fact, the first tent pad is way down there. Anyway, there you are. So you come up here. Obviously, we've set up here. A few more tent pads here. Okay, a couple more. And then I'll show you something else here. Yeah. So way up in here are the other tent pads, and there's another outhouse. Okay, we can't, I don't know how many tent pads there are here for reservations. I'm going to flash them up, but oh yes, we like this. Somebody's sign. Yes. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to point out a bridge over here. That's the bridge over to the eating area, and I'm going to take you over there right now, but I'm going to spare you the walk. What's interesting about this bridge, Scott kind of pointed out, it's not really attached. So it looks to me and to him like they probably lift this out of here for the winter, maybe? I don't know. Because I mean, really, when this swells up, this could just go with it, but that's just us Guessing. We don't really know. A lot of down trees here though in this campsite. Tons. Including tent pads I did not show you. There's a large tree about 3 feet in diameter, or yeah, that's fallen between 2 tent pads. Ooh. All right, back to where we started. Now, as we come in here, I showed you the other outhouse, and there is one just down here a bit, okay? So if you're over here at the eating area, you have a close outhouse closer to you. Whoops, sorry. Obviously the bear boxes. We're not sure if there are 18 tent pads here. As I said, I flashed them up on the screen for you. What's lovely about this place, if you're into it, is some fire pits. So we're going to have a little fire tonight because the last 2 nights have been chilly, and we're just going to do that to kind of warm up, and actually not to have to go to bed at 7 o'clock. Second fire pit area here. So all right, that's it. Oh yeah, another eating area down there. We're kind of joking about, look at the size of this. Oh Jenny, you'd need a ladder, honey, to get up there, wouldn't you? Yeah. Shh, I didn't say that, nobody heard me. All right, there's your tour around Numa Creek. We are going to finish setting up, and then, as I promised, I will sit down for a couple minutes and just tell you a little bit about the trail and a little bit of trip planning. So that's next. Well, I promised you a bit of a trip planning video, and quite honestly, not a lot to plan here except some of the logistics. So it's funny, when I originally talked to Scott about doing this here in October, we were going to start at Floe Lake and walk toward Good Sur Pass and actually exit that way, up over Good Sur Pass and down the to the Otter Tail trailhead, just to lengthen the trip a bit, give us one more pass and such. But it's not, of course, the traditional route. When we decided not to do that, all I did was change the reservations around, and we started at Paint Pots, as you saw, and we're going to end at Floe Lake, which is exactly how you see it presented in something like the Canadian Rockies Trail Guide. And I will say that the CRTG, Brian and Bart, the distances they measured with their wheel out here are right on the money. We did a little bit of, playing around and seeing things, but you can follow those. The park ones are pretty good too. And then the park online has their own kind of, I don't know what you call these graphs, but it's distances between trailheads. Looks like this neat chart. And they have that as well, and it's very accurate. You're always within 100 meters or so. The least accurate at the moment is like using something like Garmin or Gaia. They just don't quite get it exact, but they're pretty good. Anyway, so just know that we certainly, and the reason I mention that is we certainly could have doubled up day one coming up from Paint Pots. We could have gone all the way to Helmet Falls. Logistically for us, which I'll talk about in a second with cars, I mean, that's just, we weren't ready for that. We just didn't think we had enough time. And then, of course, today we could have easily gone from Tumbling to all the way to Floe Lake. But we have the time. We've already booked everything off, and why would we rush? So we've had a lovely leisurely afternoon here with a good amount of sunlight before we head to Floe tomorrow, and that's going to be a super tough climb, and I am the slowest climber on planet Earth. Scott's got patience galore. The only time I kind of get ahead of him is going downhill for whatever reason. So, but that's, everybody's cool when you hike with others about that stuff. So hopefully I'm not holding him up too much going up the hills. But tomorrow's going to be a big one to get into Floe Lake. Not going to think about that right now. So logistics wise, it's a 2-car show unless you want to hitchhike. And funny story, we had a little mix up with where to leave the keys, and we're going to exit for Scott's truck at Floe Lake, and I'm going to have to hitchhike to my car up at Paint Pots, which is like 13 kilometers. It shouldn't be a big deal because I think his keys for his truck are actually in my truck. So we'll have to wait and see. Typically you could hitchhike. Highway 93 is very busy right now here in October because there's construction near Golden where they've closed the Trans-Canada and all the traffic's being rerouted through here. So, typically 2 cars is a nice safety. I will say that with the key mix-up, I'm super glad we didn't do that first trip way out to Otter Tail, because now that would have been a hitchhike for a while to try to get around. So, last thing I'll say is, of course, it is mid-October going into late October. you know, this is the tail end of the hiking season. It's rare to be able to hike this time of year, and you have to be prepared for it. Certainly we are getting a lot of condensation overnight in our tents. We even had frost on the first night on the outside of our tents because we were sitting out in an exposed area. If you are out when it's cold like this, try to find a campsite somewhere, a tent pad that's got trees around it that are safe. Always look to see if the trees are alive, because they will help you not get all frosty in the morning. And then just packing that wet stuff up, because the sun here, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. The sun here this time of year, I mean, it's gone now for the day. It's gone behind the ranges to the west. It's gone behind the rock wall, and we won't have sun now. It's 3 o'clock. No, it's 3:30 local time. We won't have sun again tomorrow morning at all until we get to the next pass, probably, as the sun swings from east around to the west. It's just the valleys we're following were in the dark a lot, which creates some safety hazards like I showed you this morning early on, with some frozen leaves and frost patches and just ice and stuff like that. So, you know, there are considerations when you come out this late in the season. The bonus is we have the place completely almost to ourselves. We've seen a few other people and that's it, but not very many, and not anybody in camp since the first night, which we showed you. So that's it. Like on a popular trail like this, one of the top 4 in the Rockies here in Canada, in the national parks, I mean, it's a busy trail. You can follow the track. There are bear, let me just show you, I've already showed you a million times, but there are these bear lockers, which we've been using. I mean, these are actually a huge thing for us this time of year because there's no one else in the campsites. We're able to take a couple of those, and I'm even storing my backpack in there with some other stuff that I don't really want around the tent, because the tent pads here tend to be a little bit, they're kind of dirty, normal. And these ones are kind of small, so there's not a lot of room around there, you know, for your gear. So it's kind of a bonus. So anyway, that's it. Trip planning the Rockwall. The Rockwall is one of those iconic hikes in the Rockies. Get the Canadian Rockies Trail Guide, do some research at Kootenay National Park, and make your reservations early, because this one books up fast. It's very, very popular. So I hope this helps a bit. Not much info to share because it is such a well-known, popular trail. But I do hope over the course of this video, the first few days and our last couple of days, it gives you an idea of what to expect in the campsites, and how to prepare for such an iconic journey in our Canadian Rockies. So next up for us, little supper, and then as always, in the tent by about 8 o'clock because it's pitch black. Well, that's a wrap on day 4? Yes, day 4. Wrap on day 4, our shortest one yet, and now going to be a cold one. So the last couple nights we haven't had the ability to have a fire. Tonight we're really enjoying the fire because it's already really cold. What's tonight's supper? Chicken sidekick. Ooh, yes, I like that. Jenny and I are getting into the sidekicks and stuff. We're also, really quickly show you this, we're also buying the number 10 cans of stuff now and bringing them out in these reusable, you know, hydration bags. And it's working super well, and it saves you a little money. And I also had stovetop stuffing and potatoes earlier together, which was awesome. So, all right, we're going to enjoy the fire and probably be in our sleeping bags a lot sooner than we anticipate, because it's more than nippy. And of course, tomorrow's a big day. A little extra rest not going to kill us. Mostly uphill tomorrow. The last 2.5K into Floe Lake. And, well, enjoy your evening too. We'll see you then. Morning, day 5, and I've woken up to the housekeeper who's here. What's going on?
We can't leave a messy camp, you know.
Actually, what he's really doing is he's sweeping up the frost. Look at this. Look. Hello. Yeah. And just for the record, good morning. That's all over my tent. Inside and out, and on the top of my sleeping bag. Last night, I'm going to say, was the coldest so far of the trip. Closest second would be night number 1. And of course, this time of year, when the sun comes out, the world changes. But we're in a valley going north to south, and so our sun exposure is, you know, rather limited, let's say, until the sun swings around, getting closer to midday. So, big day for us. About 7 odd K uphill. I think something like that, and then 2.5 or whatever it is down. I'm not that accurate, but again, these trails are well marked, and I always give you the distances between days. So, anyway, life begins in a coffee cup. We're underway with a big old 7-kilometer climb. And I told Scott, as I said before, go ahead of me. I'll see you later. Because I'm not fast uphill, so I take a lot of breaks. Short little breaks, but a lot of breaks. And this is going to be our longest climb of the trip. So, onward. Yeah, frosty.
It's fine, it's not perfect.
Okay. No, it's good. Nice little flat section for us. We thought it was going to be completely uphill climb. Not as bad as we started. In fact, I said to Scott this morning, this is going to be an easy day. Optimistic Stu.
So far, so good.
So far, see? Frozen mud. It's funny growing up in the southern part of New Brunswick. I'm really used to this kind of frozen mud and terrain in the winter. Being coastal, you get a lot of freeze and thaw, right? So this will thaw during the afternoon period when the sun comes up, and then freeze again overnight. Oh! Walk carefully. That's funny, they had to put the no horses there. No kidding. Still have our moon with us. And over here, a waterfall, and all we can see is that little bit of it, but it goes all the way down.
You can sure hear it though.
Oh yeah, it's loud. So our climb has begun in earnest.
Yes, it has.
We got a long way to go. Look up there, way up.
This is a pretty spot.
This is a pretty spot, but my goodness, hard to see for the sun, but we got to go way up. Well, we're not going up there, but we got to get up around there. And that's going to be steep. So we'll take the sun in these little flat sections. Wonderful. We've done over 2.5 kilometers to this point, so, you know, 7 to the top, let's say. And then 2.5-ish, basically straight downhill over switchbacks to Floe Lake.
This is a real pretty spot.
Yeah, it really is, eh?
Now, why couldn't they put the campsite here?
Exactly. Well, we knew we had to make a left. I always send Scott out first to check and make sure the bridges are safe.
Thanks a lot.
We just saw what, well, Scott was mentioning how there's just so much deadfall everywhere. Looks like a disaster zone. Okay. Well, I didn't have much luck earlier this summer going across bridges with the camera on, so I'll wait right here and have a look at that. Look at that. Absolutely relentless. Really, truly relentless. Wow. Lots more to go in the last 2K. Oh man, finally some light at the end of the tunnel. Still a climb left, but we're up here in Larchland now, so that's a good sign. I just took a little break back there, 5 minutes, had some food, some water. Went down about 6K or more without stopping. Scott's ahead of me. He's got a lot better pace going uphill than I do. So, you know, I told him, go on. That's the point, right? Hike your own hike. Even if you're out here with others, do your pace. And that's how you have the most fun. But yeah. Oh, still a ways to go. If you look straight ahead at that notch, you'll see the trail. I'm going to assume once we get around that, she's downhill mostly, and maybe a view of Floe Lake. So I'm going to huff and puff my way up there, and well, I'll show you the other side. If you look really hard, way back there is the Rockwall and Rockwall Pass. That shows you the scope, and my God, the scope of this climb. Almost there. How do I know that? Scott's already there and he's got his shirt off. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go see Floe Lake. You were expecting to see that now.
Brian told us we would see it already.
That's right. In the Canadian Rockies Trail Guide. Unless I misread it to you last night, I don't know. But we know it's just going to be over here. A little hazy today, if you can see that in the video, and I'm smelling smoke again. What's the date today, do you know?
Day of the week?
Yeah, no, the date of the month.
The hard one, Stuart, I can't count.
All right, it's late October, mid to late October, whatever the day is. And there's still forest fire smoke here in the parks. Now I'm just smelling this today. I haven't smelled it at all until we started hiking this section of trail, so. Uh-oh. Why wouldn't they put a bridge here?
Lousy trail.
Oh. Well, the haze is impeding our view, but we can see the lake because I can see the reflection of the snow. So, it's down there. We got a couple odd kilometers here, 2.5 probably to go down. Somewhere in that vicinity. Down the hill. I was just joking. You know, sometimes it's, you look forward to the downhills. It can take you as long to go down as it does up just because of the work on the knees and the picky walking. So, well, we'll probably get a better view when that sun, when I get lower, that sun ducks down behind the mountain. Take some of that haze out of the shot for us. So I'll show you that. If I can. We suffered coming up the other side of this because it was spread out over the entire trip basically, but man, there haven't been a lot of switchbacks yet on the way down. Can't imagine if you're coming up this with a loaded pack how long it would take you, because it's pretty much straight uphill. I mean, there are some switchbacks obviously, but not a ton. Really good for the knees. Made it. Floe Lake, and just as I had thought and feared, there's no sun. And there's why. The size of that. Yeah, it looks like a patrol cabin or something over there. I'm going to show you around once I get set up, of course. But let's have a real look here. Oh, look. Just like some of the places in Banff, there's a map. All right, so am I here? Yeah, I'm here. Okay. Well, that's weird. So down here to the left and to the right. All right, we're gonna, okay, this is confusing me. So let's have a look around, and I will show you around when I've sorted everything out. Yeah, so I just come out here to have a look, just to show you around. But and Scott mentioned that he heard like crumbling. And we've heard that happens here. I remember walking past the Berg Glacier off the North Boundary Trail, and it calved right while I was walking by. We're going to go over and get some water, and then I'm going to, well, there's water there, but there's a creek over here we're going to check out and see if it's super clean, because we're using Katahdin Be-Free filters. And the way to clean them is to rinse them for 30 seconds in clean water. This is not the cleanest in the lake. It's not bad at all. Actually, it's quite good, but the stream might be better. So we're going to go refresh our filters. Then I'll show you around Floe Lake and the campsite. Look at this place. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the scope of it. It's really hard with an iPhone and a GoPro. Wonderful. Floe Lake Patrol Cabin, Kootenay National Park. We were joking earlier, nowhere to camp in front of them, but lovely porch, a lovely porch. Now, the stream we just drew water from was over there, crystal clear, and the lake's not dirty, but the filters really do need cleaning. Anyway, it's a nice little spot they've got for themselves. Outhouse way up in there. Obviously some sort of, storage facility. And then, of course, the cabin. Nice little spot. I would imagine this one gets use. So I'm going to bring you up here to the intersection with the cabin and show you a little bit of camp as you come in from the Numa Pass side like we did. Okay, exiting warden's cabin, patrol cabin. The first thing I'll show you, it's an eating area right up there. The first of 2 that we've seen so far. Now there are 18 tent pads here that can be booked on any given night during the season. And I'm sure as we walk out tomorrow, I will have more of a campsite tour for you, because I'm sure you understand, it's pretty bagged. So I'm going to show you what I can on this end of the campsite. So that was your first eating area. And if you look really closely up through the eating area, well, there's more bear storage here. There's an outhouse up in there, and there are tent pads. Most of the tent pads we've seen today are up high along the woods. And when I get over a little further, I will show you the eating area we're using, and I will show you where we tucked our tents, because it's over this way. That's coming right up. Okay, I spared you that walk. And if you look down through here, another eating area right on the little peninsula here in the lake, and more bear boxes over here. All right, back down into the eating area, almost like a beach here. Now, that's the great question. Would you swim in this? Sure, in August, but not now. And the other thing is, we heard that a couple of people were here last night camping, and they did report to some day hikers when they were leaving today that they had swam. So here's our eating area. You can see Scott and I've set up. We like to spread out our junk, and this is quite a spot, really, if you think about it. Oh, look, see that fall line right there? I'm sorry, over here. Stu, you can do it. iPhone always likes to focus on something else. Right up the top of the hill here is another tent pad with a view of the lake. So we're already set up, and I broke 3 tent pegs trying to do it, so we're not moving. All right, let's go up here. One last shot of the eating area, and then I'll take you up the hill and show you where we set up. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice little bench. Oh wow. There's where I'm having supper. Look at that. Back up from the eating area, and we'll go up to the tent pads where we are. I'm going to fast forward this or make some cuts, so you won't be bored by this trail, or by me huffing and puffing, because I'm done with hills today. But that's the nature of Floe Lake. So here we go. Oof. Oh man, I'm done for the day. Sorry about that. Anyway, this is like town center. That's Scott set up. Another tent pad down there. Another back trail to the outhouse. Tent pad, me, and another tent pad. So if you're with a larger group, you look for stuff like this when you get to camp. But yeah, this last thing I'll show you. So, broke that off, trying to pound it in. Had to use rocks. Bent this guy and broke it off. Another one over there. So 3 Z-Packs, tent pegs will be packed out and disposed of appropriately. But yeah, anyway, hey, there's camp. There are many more tent pads along here, 18 in total, as I mentioned. And if I see any more, especially tomorrow on the way out, I'm going to show you. But right now, I'm going to get this set up inside and anticipate an early evening, because it is dark here and it's already getting very cold. I think maybe probably at this point, +2 or 3, which is fine, but you know, makes for an early night here at Floe Lake.
Lickety Split Rentals from Outdoor Herbivore.
Is this a commercial?
It is.
Let's have a look in there.
Does that look delicious or what?
Ooh, it looks. Did you put all the water in there you were supposed to?
Well, yeah.
It looks very thick. Go ahead, tell us what you think.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, it's the best.
Refreshes my energy and palate.
Wow, and who's it approved by?
Miles approved.
Miles
And his
approved.
dog.
Well, there you go. Mine tonight will be an old favorite Italian-style pepper steak that I can no longer get now that I've moved back to Canada a number of years ago. So anyway, that's our view for supper. We're going to call this a wrap on day number 5. Tomorrow morning, 10 and change down to the car. And then, well, did I tell you this?
Are you going to tell him?
I am.
Oh, man.
So, I may have told you this already, I'm not sure, but Scott dropped his truck at Floe Lake.
Paint pots.
No, you dropped yours at
Floe Lake, yeah.
See, we're already confused.
Yeah.
Scott dropped his at Floe Lake, and I then had my car at Floe Lake, and we drove up to Paint Pots, and then we started hiking. Scott left his keys in my car at Paint Pots, so hitchhiking tomorrow will be required. So we're going to draw straws on the way back to see who gets the honors, but that's okay. I may not have locked the doors to my car at the trailhead.
Maybe stolen.
It's going to be an interesting day. Anyway, at least it's all downhill.
You may have your keys. I'm no car. I may have my car and no keys.
It's a rental. I don't care. Anyway, that's our view for supper. We're going to finish up, tuck in probably the usual time because of the temperatures. We'll see you in the morning. Back to Floe Lake Trailhead and finishing the Rockwall. Good morning from Floe Lake and the deserted Floe Lake just for Scott and I. Wow, it was quiet here last night until this morning when Scott reports a trail runner went through with a bear bell and a headlamp. What time did you say that was?
7 a.m.
7 a.m.
It was dark.
Dark. It was dark. It's 8:18 right now, and the sun still hasn't reached us. So we don't care. We're used to it on this trip. We're going to have some breakfast over here, take in the view, and head about 10K down the hill to the car, where I'm going to learn the art of the hitchhike. How'd you sleep?
Keep that quiet.
How'd you sleep?
Well,
Good.
kind of warm actually. We didn't have such a frosty night.
No, and you're kind of you must be a run hot.
I do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, see, my problem is I run cold. And on this trip, my toes are beginning cold at about 4 a.m. I've tried everything, including like little down booties that I brought. And no joy. So anyway, up and at 'em now. Some coffee, oatmeal, and the car. It's funny. Just climbing up from the lake, I'm panting. But a lot of climbing in this, and legs are tired. Listen. I want to show you this as we head out. See this camp, or this outhouse? It's not there at all. It's kind of like up here somewhere now in this grouping. So it's not here, and it's not actually where this arrow goes. It's like up in here. So if you're in this area, no outhouse for you. Take a hike, which is what we're doing this morning. 10 kilometers. Then we're going to find out not only how's the hike, how's the hitch hike. I could start a whole new channel. There you go. Good set of switchbacks up here near the lake, which we knew about, of course. Makes it easier uphill and, of course, downhill because of the knees and everything. So once we exit the switchbacks, it's pretty much straight down the Floe Creek Valley. And then a little bit of a switchback toward the end there as we get to the highway. Met some more trail runners this morning just now. Weather's approaching on the weekend coming up while we hike this, and that could be the end of it. So snow is on the way. Last thing I'll say about this morning, it's hazy again and it's smoke. And I've been smelling smoke for a couple of days now. And sometimes you get a really good whiff of it. So not sure where the fire activity is in late October, but certainly we'll check firesmoke.ca once we get out, just for curiosity's sake. Walking up here, and I'm going to show you the valley. There was a fire here, speaking of smoke, that we're going to walk through quite a long time ago. And there it is. Our home for the next few hours. Super steep section of trail here. Just on this catwalk ledge. I mean, if I pan this way, videos never show the true, like, you know, depth of steepness. I do speak English, folks, really, I do. Anyway, yeah, so just a little panorama looking east. Yeah, all right, I'm going to turn this off now to pay attention. Little stop here for layering removal as it gets warmer. I don't know if you can see it, but the trail's right down there. So we've got a long way to go down yet, and then it's going to be more gradual down to the car. But she's steep. Have a look up there, Floe Creek, flowing this morning. We've come from way up there and around to your right, pretty much straight downhill with the switchy backs, and now we're heading this way. I'll show you as we walk up here. Should have a view right up here of the valley. Little crest here on ridge. Walking down here, and there we go. You're gonna see this any second. Boom. Yeah. We're heading down that way. All right, let's keep moving. One last look back up the valley.
Long climb.
My goodness, we've met a lot of day hikers coming up. I think most of them know what they're getting into with those switchbacks heading up the lake, but my goodness, she's steep. I'll show you a view the other way here next. As promised, the other way, and you can even see the trail way ahead if you look closely. I can actually hear traffic. We're less than 6K now from the trailhead. Yeah, hear that? Is that a motorcycle?
Yeah, I think it's Ball Pass in front of us there.
Wow, Ball Pass. Yeah, I'm here on the highway though.
I heard it too, heard a motor.
Yeah, getting closer to civilization.
You must just bounce around the walls of this canyon.
Oh yeah, but really translate the sound pretty good. My goodness, the amount of deadfall and snags from that fire. Look at this, just tumbling down the hills and collecting at Floe Creek. That's just crazy. Look at this. Wow. I mean, fire is part of nature, regenerative and restorative for the forests when, well, when caused by Mother Nature, let's put it that way. Part of the natural cycle. Unfortunately, with the planet warming up, this is going to become a lot more prevalent down the road if the last number of years are any indication out west here. So you can kind of see the trail cutting through over there, and of course the highway's just down that way. So probably about 4 kilometers left at this point. Well, there we are. First view of the valley and the highway and the river, which we have to cross course, get the trailhead. That's a lot further off than you think. I don't know, what am I now, 3.5 kilometers maybe? Something like that. So, that's, well, there it is. Reminds me of when you get to Nigel Pass and start coming down and you see all the traffic on the Icefields Parkway. You know you're almost there, but you've still got a ways to go. Pretty cool. All right, a little more work to do. As any backpacker will tell you, these typically happen right at the end of a hike. However, I'm going that way. You want to stay with me? All right, that's easy. Okay, can't imagine how much work trail crews have to put into this section of trail with all those snags. I mean, every year there'd be a ton of them down, I would think. Well, you know, you think you're close to trailhead, but it's down there. So I got a big old right turn to make here, and still some work to do. Coming down to the bridge. Lovely little spot here. We were just coming in a couple kilometers from the car, have a little picnic lunch, and head back out. So you didn't want to do the climb up to Floe. And, well, now you've seen what that's like going downhill. Imagine going up. I'm actually sitting here thinking to myself, I'm really glad that we actually changed our itinerary and went the way we did, following the, you know, suggested route from the Canadian Rockies trail guide. So anyway, I'm going to cross this bridge and maybe take some water and see if I can find Scott behind me there on that big ridge up there. Because basically, zoom, 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 and then down here. Wowie. All right, little break for some water. Somewhere in the kilometer range. Scott's back there. How's it going?
Pretty good. Happy to be out.
Yep. Always happy to be out. And even happy to get back to the car. Today's first installment of How's the Hitchhike?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, yes. What will happen? Well, here we are, crossing the Vermilion River. That'll take us to the trailhead in the parking lot. Woo! Let's get a little shot of this beauty and this canyon that it's in when I get to the bridge. A little frosty still on that side. Oh my, look at this. Just 100 or 200 meters from the trailhead. Gorgeous. Even if you're not going to hike up to Floe Lake, come and look at this. Isn't that pretty? Very nice. All right. Let's see how far we are from the car. Rockwall. Complete. Another notch in the belt. Well, we're done. And how's the hitchhike?
So it was really quick.
It was very quick. This is post-hitchhike, actually. And Andrew and Alana from near Nelson, BC, heading to Calgary, turned around and came back and said, hey, what's going on? They thought we could have been broken down or whatever. And I have to say, honestly, it kind of warms my heart that somebody actually turned around to pick me up. Is that weird?
Wouldn't happen with me.
No, well, it's a beard, right? No, exactly. So, Rockwall's over.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. So, quick question.
Yeah.
How's the hike?
Awesome. Do it again. Go back. Let's go back.
Let's make sure we have your key this time.
Yeah.
I'm going to flash up to you where his key was in my car. Here it is.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude.
Can't you forget about that?
No, you'll never live
Can't
this
you
down.
edit that one out?
You will never live this down
no.
as long as I'm around. So, anyway, it was an awesome hike. Excellent company. I'd do it again somewhere else.
All right, Stuart. Happy travels.
Happy travels. Thanks for watching. Any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. And, well, thanks for watching.